Hi, this is Colin with ADO. I'm going to walk through our new Century Harps library. Century Harps contains two distinct instruments chosen to represent very different facets of harp tones. Harp 1 is a much brighter Venus harp. It's really bold and shimmering. It's great at cutting through a mix and has a lot of bright air to it. Harp 2 is a Lyon Healy Concert Harp. It has a mellower and rounder tone to it. It sits back more. It's kind of warmer. I think of it as sort of a delicate scoring harp. The gap we wanted to fill with Century Harps was really capturing the soft, feathery velvet tones of the harp while preserving the natural shimmer and air that occurs in a large soundstage. Noise reduction definitely harms the shimmer and air of the soft dynamics. For this reason, our harps likely have a lot less noise reduction and post-processing compared to other harp libraries out there. If you prefer a more clinical, noise-reduced sound, this is definitely not that library. And I'm not criticizing that. It just definitely comes down to personal preference and intention. Here's a short piece written with Harp 1, sustains, and Bisbee glissando, along with Century Sordino strings. If you ever need to quickly name a piece, I suggest doing a Google search for cool-sounding French words. Here's another short example with Harp 1 sustains and the Claire alto flute. That's one of my favorite wind instruments ever. I use it all the time. There are 4 mic positions for each harp. I'll solo these up now so you can hear the difference. Just a few more arts here in the general category. First is the pluck articulation, also known as étouffée. It's a pluck that is quickly dampened by the player. It's six-way round robin. It can also work for really cool rhythmic textures beyond traditional harp. Moving on to Harp 2, just as with pianos, I really need different instruments for different purposes. Sometimes I need a harp to sit back as more of a warm pulse to move the orchestra along. Here's an example using the Harp 2 sustains with Century strings. All of the Century instruments are recorded in the same room. I'm really loving how well this harp meshes with the strings. Here are the Harp 2 sustains mic positions. Now the pluck, harmonics, and Bisbee glissando. Check out the low notes on the harmonics. That's another thing I'll be using for some other weird, cool thing outside of traditional harp scoring. Same goes for the Bisbee glissando. If you crank up your reverb, feather in like soft sol tasto sustains, it's just a really nice shimmery texture. Finally, I'm going to show the glissandos. Each glissandi has 4 variations. They're selected by the 3 green and blue key switches you see there in the middle. The variations are 2 octaves up and down, 4 octaves up and down, swirling pattern, and bidirectional pattern. And each one of these glissandos has 2 velocities, one feathery and one bold forte. And there are also 2 speeds for each glissando that you control. By default, it's CC16. There are also Time Machine Pro patches using the pitch bender to further sculpt tempo. However, I'm generally fine with the natural sampled speeds without Time Machine. One general note about our glissandos: when I've recorded scores with orchestra and harp, I've always found the harpist doesn't usually perform tidy, perfect scales. There's an element of chaos and interpretation. That's exactly what Century glissandos are. We cut her loose. Many of the glissandos are aggressive, almost epic harp, I would say. There are so many glissando libraries out there, and we didn't just want to do the same over again.